And before that didn't work at all. Community, no Ron Warp. Eden's just pop out, this is blowing up. There we go. So this is any percent. Or a trick, a glitch, whatever you want to call it, that lets you progress. So we won't be doing that. Like 10 minutes of nothing. And then you actually get to move. Maybe you get to groove, who knows. Will do, Yogu. Everything's fine? Okay, good. So, nothing to talk about. We're doing the first Junior Trooper fight, which is basically a tutorial on how to fight an enemy. I never knew what to talk about in Prologue. Okay. So I'll explain what exactly Junior Trooper Skip is and how it works in a little bit. Thank you. And a whole bunch of numbers. I'll mention what makes this category a little more desirable than the others, especially for new players. It's generally safe, even though there's a lot of RNG. 30% chance of dying, and there's nothing I could do about it. And 3% chance is another place. Why the 3% later on? But basically, sometimes the run can die. There's nothing you can do. Every save block you pass, but so there's no chance of this not completing unless I rage quit. Frame drops aren't a problem, but I haven't dropped frames in like 3 minutes. Hopefully you can hear this. Mario got destroyed by Bowser, fell off the castle, and now we're moving. First, and then we're rewarded with more cutscenes. Well, I'll explain Ginger Biscuit now. So, we fall down here, spoilers, and once we fall down, there's going to be a loading zone. This loading zone, it takes 2 frames for the game to actually put us in it. The first frame triggers it, the second frame actually drags us in. So we can exploit this by doing frame perfect jumps to different locations. And in this case, we're going to go to the bush that contains the hammer and completely skipping the boss. Let's hope I get it relatively quickly. Nice. That doesn't count. Ugh. That was too soon. I'll get it eventually. Hopefully not too long. Oh my god, I'm so nervous. There. That was really slow, and I apologize, but we got it. I don't know what's happening. I don't know if the video is bad or my audio is bad. So at that point, it was probably the same speed to actually fight the boss, but whatever. So here's our first badge. badges in this game are like sort of power-ups in every other Mario game. It uses what's called BP to equip, and they can have many different effects in and outside of the game, and they're very useful to go fast. At the same time, we collected our first partner. This partner is Goombario, and he's basically
Hello.
useless. Hey Benji.
Heyo.
So we're gonna grab this Goom Nut. Since we didn't take damage with Junior Troopa, we needed a way to quickly increase our FP from the next fight. We also
And
need
how many
orange
tries?
inventory. It was like 10. It was horrible.
It was horrible. Oh no. Run.
That right there is Close Call, another badge. It gives you, I believe, a 10% chance of dodging an enemy's attack at danger, which is below 5 HP and below. Here the Goomba Bros are pretty simple. Oops, I messed up. I was mashing. The first Goomba, the blue Goomba, has 6 HP. The red Goomba has 7 HP. So if you attack the first blue Goomba, ideally with only one power jump, and the second one with a head bonk and a power jump, they have both 3 HP, and then he uses Fire Flower to finish them off. Normally, if you finish them off one at a time, there's a text box and that wastes time, and we don't like wasting time.
Monka S.
Would you like to introduce yourself?
Me?
Yes.
Yes, hello, I am Benji. I'm a Paper Mario runner myself. I mainly run Paper Mario Glitchless, because Glitchless is the best category, but that's up to discussion for Sunta, because this Glitchless is the most boring category for Sunta.
100% the most fun.
Okay.
That might be Stockholm Syndrome, but who knows?
Okay, and I watch a lot of Synthos runs, like Nova Warp, all cards, and I once watched one 80% run, and it's the worst category in this game.
Agree.
Because it's so RNG heavy.
So this is Goomba Bro. Oh, that's later. This is Goomba King. He's pretty simple. He has 10 HP, and the rest, these bad guys, have 3 HP because they're weak from the last fight. Luckily, if you headbonk this tree, this gigantic flower, or whatever this is, I don't actually know what that is, comes down and then one-shots them.
If I would have known that when I was a child, the fight would have been way much easier.
Yeah, it's not too bad, casually, though. I suppose as a child, everything's a challenge, though.
It pretty much is without the chestnut. Especially since you need the mushroom, otherwise you don't need it. Because in Paper Mario, in a comparison to Paper Mario the Thousand Year Door, which is the successor of, or the sequel to Paper Mario on the N64, you do not have action commands from the beginning of the game where you can block enemies' attacks. We get that at the end of Prologue in Paper Mario, which is, well, kind of dumb, but, you know, you take what you get.
Basically. Now, this is kind of a little bit of spoilers, but should I do early Lackey for the fans, just to show what it is?
Like it too? Like it last year?
Yeah.
Oh my god. How much time does it waste?
If I do it after the bubble berry, it saves time. If I
Oh, really?
Try.
But isn't it almost a task-only strat?
Nah.
Not anymore?
No, it's not.
Because a few years ago,
it
was a task-only. It was a task-only strat years ago.
I waste time doing it. If that's what you're asking.
Should we do it for fans?
Yeah, it's for the fans.
For the fans! For the
Okay, for the
fans! Let's
fans.
go!
That's much later though. Let's focus on prologue.
Alright.
That was dinner.
I've never seen Lucky Lester early. I mean, you don't do it in your runs.
I was actually planning on doing the LZS method, the loading zone storage jump method. However, oh god. Anyway, I get to move again.
I'm sorry, I had to post it in chat.
You have to.
Yeah, I have to. In the Paper Mario community, there is a serious condition going on where we bully Prologue because it has so many cutscenes. It's boring as heck. Because like throughout the first 21 minutes, you have like 50 to 60% cutscenes only, and it's like, ugh.
So right now we're going to Shooting Star Summit, and then we're greeted with more cutscenes. And then after that, the game gets a little tiny bit faster, but it's still pretty slow. This game starts out pretty slow, and then it just turns it up to high gear.
Also, what I figured out from the spinning here when I was running glitchless is that if you jump into the loading zone will load slower because it takes time and for Mario to land on the ground because it will not load otherwise.
Oh yeah, I didn't explain that. So spinning, obviously, is the fastest method of movement. You want to jump after the spin to cancel it, otherwise there's a lot of end lag. So if you spin and then jump, and then repeat that, you go fast. If you're good.
Ta-da! I think you're getting speedy spin too, right? In any percent over warp.
Yes, you do.
If I remember correctly, speedy spin has a 3 out of 4 chance to get it first try.
Mhm.
And you are always one of those unlucky people who get it second try.
Yeah, I'm notoriously bad for getting a second try. My worst record for bad speedy spins is 9th try.
Really?
Just 4 minutes lost.
Yeah, I think you lose around 20-25 seconds if you don't get it first try.
And 9th try, I forgot the percentage, but it's something really, really dumb. It never happened to anyone else. Except me. Because that's the kind of person... That should give you a stupid...
Well, the RTM server is not dropping any frames task. It's on Shadow's side. Whoever is whoever the host is.
Yeah, I'm not dropping any frames on my side.
Yeah, because I'm watching from the RTMP server, so I have less lag to commentate on.
I'm also sorry if I cough into the mic without muting and murder everyone's ears.
Dude, I was coughing a lot in my run. We're both sick, which makes it a fantastic opening for the marathon.
Yeah.
Sick percent.
6% for commentary.
You're gonna get PB now, Mingli.
My boy Twink. He comes down and gives me the Lucky Star. The Lucky Star is a good anime. Also, it lets you do action commands.
And I thought you were an anti-weep.
What? You really thought
I
I was
thought
anti-weep?
you're not a weep. No, you always said you hate anime.
I
For
never
frick's
said
sake. You do.
This guy's trying to frame me.
Yes, I'm trying to frame you.
So you can
I'm
see
sorry.
that power jump does a whopping 1 extra damage.
She's the best girl in Lucky Star.
Nice, dude. Forgot her name.
Tsukasa, Konata.
Yeah, there we go. Tsukasa.
Tsukasa.
Tsukasa's best girl.
I'm more like a Konata Izumi fan. Blue-haired girl, best girl.
Everybody, celebrate. We're almost done with prologue.
Oh my god, we love prologue. Oh my god. You gotta do a new a glitch now, isn't it?
Oh yes.
Which
So
skips
coming up,
the Merlin cutscene with the 4 toads.
So coming up is Black Toad Skip. We skip. I'll show you later. So you do an NPC clip because this game is good. If you hammer in the right spot between an NPC and a wall, then you can go inside the wall. I failed it because I'm good.
It looked really good though.
He's a jerk. So you skip these black toads and a whole bunch of cutscenes with Merlin.
So if you want to know who those black toads are, those are basically like 4 toads in disguise. And they are the end boss of Chapter 1, which is the Koopa Bros, which are minions from Bowser.
There we go. So by clipping into that between the wall and the toad, and then falling so you get inside the post office corner, you angle yourself around the post office, and then you land inside the loading zone behind the toads.
What you might also see here,
okay, right
what Sunta does here is collecting some items for some fights to make them faster, and also getting some coins in order to buy ourselves the speedy spin up to Chapter 1. We need a total of, I think, 50 coins to buy it.
Yes, but we only need to collect 20 in this route.
Yeah, basically because you're selling an item.
Mm-hmm. So I grabbed that badge. That badge is very important. If I don't get that badge, I soft lock after Chapter 7. That's a complete meme, by the way. I just add sound effects, and I want to spice up this run. Ooh, window sounds.
That wasn't me. I'm sorry.
That's fun. So here's our boy Cooper. Koopa Village is being attacked by fuzzies, and we don't care about anyone else but Cooper. So we're just gonna save his shell, because we're bros. He doesn't know it yet, but we're bros.
How does he not know?
I don't know, it's like his memory got wiped or something.
Damn, every time you reset, his memory gets wiped.
Yeah, like that. MIB agents come inside the cartridge.
Damn.
It's a rough life.
Upcoming here is like a mini game that has 3 rounds, and it's basically all RNG. So first 2 rounds are pretty easy, and the third round is pretty much like you can get some really bad RNG where they go like left, right, left, right, left, right, left, right, and you have to guess whether it's left or right.
Yeah, sometimes it's really confusing and hard to track.
Yeah, exactly.
And it could be run over if I get it wrong.
So the best RNG you could get basically is like when the blue shell is between first and the second tree. Wow! 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 That RNG! Wow. Best possible RNG, of course, would be the first tree every time.
Yeah, and the minimum amount of jumps, which I've never seen because it's me.
You had a really good minimum amount of jumps on Route 3, to be honest.
Yeah, Route 3 is pretty fast. So the fuzzies are salting, they want to fight us. So we could just beat them up with that power block we picked up earlier.
Just the fire flower. You do not need to bounce them to death. We burn them to death in Glitchless. That's why Glitchless is better, Kappa. Also, if you don't know, N64 is the second fastest console for Paper Mario. You won't believe, but VVC is even slower than N64 because in Chapter 4 and in Chapter 4 there's a random lag in the how's it called again, the Lantern Ghost fight, and also on the how's it called, Sergeant Shy Guy, or however what he was called again. General Guy, thank you. And in Chapter 5, inside the volcano, there's an immense, insane amount of lag on VVC. I don't know what Nintendo did there to make it that badly emulated, but on VUVC, it's the fastest console because we have faster loading times and no lag at all.
So if you get good
N64
luck,
sometimes has lag. If you
So those
overload the
items-
sprites.
God damn it,
Sorry.
those items I just picked up, HP plus badge and that Thunderbolt, there we go. Those are used at the end of the game, so try to remember those. That's basically
But
it. So right
I'm
now,
too dumb. I'm too dumb to remember.
well, I'll remind you. Right now we're storming Koopa Bros Castle. We're actually not going to finish this. We're just going to go in, get Bombette, our next partner, and then bail.
Who the hell needs
And-
chapter 1 and 2? Man.
This is also the place where the run could die for absolutely no reason. Because that fried jar I picked up earlier in the first route of chapter 1, that can fail. It has a 10% chance to fail, and there's 3 enemies, so it's a 30% chance of my run dying. I have a
And you
backup
did-
save, so
And you didn't save. You saved? Oh my god. Thank
no,
the
I have a
Lord.
backup save.
That you made before the run, right?
Mm-hmm.
Feels
It's after
bad,
the
man.
castle.
The movie Spliced though. Spliced run, baby rage, monkeys!
Yeah, whatever. It'll be fine. So right here is arguably the most powerful item in the game, or badge in the game, Power Bounce. It lets you... The description is bounce until you miss an action command, which isn't totally true. I'll get into that later. But
Yeah.
it's a pretty powerful item. And
Power
right here,
bounce
that
is-
staircase skip. This
Oh.
game is well made, and there's no collision on the side of the staircase, so you just jump out, weave back in, and then you get down in the basement, and then you jump off out of bounds, and then you end up on the second floor, and you end in this room, and the cutscene puts you on the bottom floor, conveniently. So I actually don't remember what to do here. I think there's a powerful item in this box. I'm gonna pick it up.
Power bounce, to come back to power bounce, is like an
Right.
item that we can use for really fast fights, especially on boss fights. But there are some issues with it that involve RNG, which we'll simply explain later. Like it's
Yeah.
really, really powerful. And at the end of chapter 6, we're equipping another badge for power bounce, where we use the supercharge attack, and it will increase our attack by 3 attack points each turn.
Yes, and it stacks.
And it stacks, yeah.
So we just got our second best partner, I would say. Bombette. Bombette's a bomb. She blows up. That's all there is to it. Alright,
And
here's
she
the
can
deal.
save our butts.
This is the 30% chance of the run dying for absolutely no reason. Out of my control.
Less
Let's see what
RNG,
happens.
guys. Less RNG.
And rip. So that's actually run over for this route, but I have a backup save.
Damn it, you got the 10%.
Collecting these coins out of formality. Continuity, whatever you want to call it.
So the reason why you say it's a run over is because you're probably gonna level up before the final Bowser fight, isn't it?
I'm not sure if it's the final Bowser fight. I'm not actually sure where you level up, but your level ups will be wrong,
Yeah.
which is bad. If you level up in the wrong place, then that means you won't heal in the right place. So
Yeah, we need. I think we use Mega Rush here too.
no, you don't.
You don't? Okay, you skip Mega Rush. Okay.
So we're gonna save here, and then do some magic.
You're doing magic. He's cheating, guys. He's using another save.
What? Who said that?
He's cheating, guys. He's using another save.
What? Who said that?
You're cheating.
That's not
Baby
cheating.
rage. Baby rage.
Anyway, so that was unfortunate. I'm sorry, gonna be single segment. Out of my control.
Feels
I don't know why I apologize.
Coming up soon is Lock Skip, and Lock Skip is gonna be. Really blows your mind. Are you gonna do an LZS out of bounds Lock Skip?
Yes, I am.
Okay, you have to explain that out of bounds LCS because I still don't understand how that works.
Alright, so we're gonna kill time. First off, just do some figure eights. Ooh, okay, that's enough. So that kills enough time so that Ralph, this guy, goes into position. We can NPC clip out of bounds right here. We line up with this sign. And then with a precise down right movement and then upright, we get to store this loading zone. Then we go to the other side of the shop, and then by doing that, we skew our position enough so that Mario, when he enters the next loading zone, he falls out of bounds and we skip those logs. That skips chapter 1.
Ta-da!
Ta-da! I'm not gonna split
Let's
because
try!
yay! So that magical seed right there, we need that to enter chapter 6.
I was trying once to learn Lock Skip, and it's insanely hard.
Yeah,
It's
it
not easy
definitely
to get
takes a lot
consistent.
of practice.
Shoutouts to an actually animated clock on the train station.
Really?
Yeah.
Never noticed it.
The arms are animated.
Okay, then shoutouts to the bell on the train that is attached to absolutely nothing.
It's magic, believe me. Chapter 2, we're not triggering actually chapter 2, aren't we?
No, we actually don't do much in chapter 2. We go in, and our main objective is to get the magical seed, 3 whackers, and
Parakuba?
Parakarry,
Parakarry, yeah.
which is our next partner.
Parakarry. I remember when I played casually, Parakarry was the strongest partner for me.
He's still the
Like
strongest
he dealt
partner.
a lot. He
My man
still
is
deals
ripped.
so much damage. He steals so much damage.
My man Parakarry, especially casually or in glitchless or in hundo, he is ripped. Does a lot of damage. Can do a lot of damage to all enemies. He's pretty insane. So right here, we're going to offend many animal lovers by attacking this poor innocent wacka. But he makes us rich, so we have to do it.
Raise your Bible thumbs now, guys.
So a wacka bump is a really powerful item. There's a limited amount, I think 10 in total. And it heals 50 HP and no, 25 HP, 25 FP,
Also,
which is more than enough.
the reason why we picked this up is because we need to backtrack later on to get one more in order to sell one Wacka Bump, so we can buy ourselves a Speedy Spin, which is a badge that makes our spins insanely faster, which will make the speed run way faster.
Yes, and the reason why I'm collecting these letters is because Parakarry wants it. Alright, right now, this is a dumb trick. It's called Parakarry Seed, Early Seed, whatever. You hold a precise angle, and then you reset your controller. And then you do hammer cancel jumps.
What do you say this hammer
And
cancel
then-
jump? So you basically have the hammer animation and jump before
Yes,
the
I
animation
failed.
ends?
Hold on.
Alright.
I'll explain hammer cancel jumps on my way to the next letter.
So while he's doing that stuff, also some little speed tricks if you want to
Oh my God, dude.
learn Paper Mario yourself. You should not spin into items because spinning into items will cause the a collection delay.
can always
So
come back and
Mario
do this.
still does the spinning animation until he ends, and then picks up the basically he picks it up, but it doesn't play the item get animation unless the spinning animation is done. So if you spin and
being
you go
actually really
over
bad.
to if you spin and go to an enemy, you cannot you cannot cancel it really pretty much, or you don't want to lose that much speed, like saving frames. You basically just use the hammer.
Alright, last attempt. And
You can
then,
do it.
okay, so by doing that and mashing C left, I get to re-center my controller, and then I jump out of bounds, and I can get this without parry carry. That was really slow, and it wastes time doing it, but I just wanted to showcase it. That's a recently new discovery. It's really, really annoying without Speedy Spin. With Speedy Spin, it's free, and I actually encourage every new runner to learn it if you have Speedy Spin in Chapter 2. So basically, a hammer cancel. I'll walk and then demonstrate. This is a hammer. This is a hammer cancel. Hammer, hammer cancel. Hammer, hammer cancel. It speeds up the recovery time of the hammer. And before, none of those were hammer cancels, and I just looked like an idiot.
They pretty much didn't look like hammer cancel to me. I don't know. Maybe I'm dumb.
Maybe I'm dumb, I don't know.
Alright, that's all letters, and let's go.
Yes, we still need 2 more whackers though.
Exactly.
Whackers
Raise
are
your purple
powerful,
thumbs.
and then they let you heal a lot. So we're going to be using it later in the run. Because we're going to be under-leveled. Spoilers.
You're
Where?
on the level in pretty much every run of Paper Mario. You think even in 100% you are.
Yeah, you're actually the same level and 100% as you are in Glitchless at the end of the game.
I think it was level 7 or level 8.
It might be 9.
9?
I think it's 9.
Ah, it's been a long time since I ran glitchless. I want to run glitchless again on N64. I can't wait. So yeah, now we give all the letters to Parakarry, and then he will join us.
Mm-hmm.
One of the coolest and strongest and most powerful and the sickest and the swaggiest and whatever the hell you want to call it.
Whatever adjective
partner
that's
in the
positive, just add to Parakarry.
Exactly. If you have Parakarry, you instantly win. That's how people got world record, Kappa. Parakarry gives world records.
Yes, he gives world records.
So yeah, now we're done with this. Chapter 2, we're gonna sell 1 Whack-A-Bump, get a T-Rage, and a Speedy Spin.
Mm-hmm. The Thunder Rage is used to kill an enemy in the sewers after doing the infamous blue house skip, which I'm actually really bad at, despite running this game for like a year.
So, blue
So don't make
house
fun of me.
skip, is that something like you're jumping on a very precise spot that is actually like a collision error programmed? Like you're standing on one. It seems like you're standing on 1 pixel and jump from it again, which takes 1 frame to jump off again.
Basically, I'll show the pixel right now. So if you go under this house, you can see that Mario barely jumps. You want to jump off of that pixel. Okay, here's Speedy Spin. 75% chance it's there.
Oh, I
It's
see.
not going to be here. I can
It's
tell.
gotta be here.
It's not going to be
It's
here.
gotta be here. First try, man.
Oh wow, first try.
First try, idiots.
So we equip Power Bounce
Shout out to Simple
and
Foods.
Speedy Spin. You can see our spins are a lot longer and faster. Oops.
What's the reason for you for equipping this this sound effect? Does that like weaken an enemy?
No, it's just for the meme.
Okay.
Ooh, I'm bad.
So those jumps are this jump basically here is frame perfect,
I'm really bad. Hold on.
and it's annoying as heck.
It's not that bad with practice, but you can have bad days. I got it. Where am I? I wanted to get the key, but I got lost.
There we go. We're in there.
There we go.
So the houses are basically still loaded, and all the triggers and textures and objects, but since you're not using the regular way to get into the house, as it's normally locked, unless you open it from the other side, you can enter this and get some nifty items very early, which speed up the speedrun again pretty much a lot.
Yes, but the main reason we do this is that it gives us access to the Chapter 5 pipe after we beat the blooper.
Exactly.
And right here we're actually leveling up. So we have more FP, but also so we can make up for the lost experience due to skipping Junior Troopa. Junior Troopa gives 20 experience, which is a buttload.
If I remember correctly, in all cards, you do the blue house skip to get the Ultra Boots first?
No. You do... Nope. Hold on. So right here's blooper.
Here we go. This is where we were talking about power bounces. So each enemy has a different kind of RNG set that allows you, that's basically determines you how much you can power bounce in it. Like some enemies have like the blooper has like you can get up to 12 or 13 if you're optimally, if you're playing optimally or if you're having good luck. And like some enemies, like for example Huff and Puff in Chapter 6, can give you a low percent a chance to actually not deal enough damage, and it cancels it on the third jump, which we call a free cap.
So
and it would kill the run.
Basically. So right there, I got good luck. I didn't miss an action command, and the game actually allowed me to do a lot of bounces. If the game doesn't allow you to do bounces, Mario jumps back a certain distance, a far distance, almost back to your original place where you're actually standing.
Also, here we are doing a glitch called Early Volcano soon.
Yes, soon. So, because of that, that's the reason why this game could just kill you. Sometimes it just doesn't give you good luck, and then you could just get a low cap and die. So,
oh yeah.
We're actually going to pick up Sushi. You don't do this in normal any percent, but since we can't do Peach Warp, we have to improvise for another trick later on. Peach Warp completely skips Chapter 7 and skips the majority of Chapter 6. But since that's banned, you'll be seeing both of them.
So, Peach Warp, if you don't know what Peach Warp is, we call it Peach Warp because it's basically like a wrong warp that allows us to, as you said, like skip specific chapters, like majority of Chapter 6 and 7. And what it does basically is like you can, the developers, let's explain it like this. The developers have made a specific or a different kind of ending of a chapter in Chapter 5. Because normally, if you would beat the final boss, the card would spawn, and as soon as you get the card, it would.
Hold on, I'd like to interrupt you real quick.
Okay.
So right here, this is Raph skip, Raphael the Raven skip, and Yoshi skip. So we're supposed to collect the Yoshis, which takes forever. So we skip that, and then we jump around the load-in zone. Oops.
I'll just wait until you're done.
Okay, and by doing that, and we're on the back seam, and then once we're on the back seam, we could just spin off, angle our way around, and then we skip, getting all the Yoshis, talking to Raphael, getting the Ultra Stone, all that.
Yeah, that saves like 20-25 minutes.
That saves a buttload of time.
It's an insanely long sequence.
So right here, if I get good movement, which isn't hard, but I'm joking. I joked. Oh, I got it. So right there is early cycle. If you actually are decent and then go sort of fast, you can make that. Otherwise, it wastes, I think, 20 seconds. You have to wait for the platform to go all the way there and all the way back. As you can see, after Speedy Spin, things really pick up.
Can I explain again about the Peach Warp?
Yes, go for it.
Okay. So we're in the volcano. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry. So right now, that was a live stream. Those are very important. Once you die, it revives you with 10 HP. And right here, there's a puzzle. You see those blue blocks? I actually don't know what to do with them. because I never really ran glitchless, so we just skipped them. Oops, my bad.
You do another pie jump there, so you skip there too.
Okay, now you can go.
Okay, so Peach Warp. So we're talking a little bit earlier about Peach Warp, and it's basically the wrong warp that's being restricted in any percent in this in any percent of wrong warp. And what it basically does is, like in Chapter 5, which is the volcano, which we are right now in, we the developers have coded or designed the ending of Chapter 5 a little bit differently than the other chapters from 1 to 4 and 6 and 7. Because normally you would, if you would beat the final boss, it would instantly spawn a card. And after you got the card, you normally would get prompted to save and get to the Peach cutscene and have to do shenanigans and Bowser's Castle as Peach, blah blah blah. And in Chapter 5, though, there is a little bit of a difference. In Chapter 5, once we got the card, we will not get prompted to save, or will we ever go to the Peach cutscenes and do the shenanigans there. It will first come to the point where the volcano is going to erupt, and you have to flee from the volcano. And once you have fled from the volcano, you are being prompted to save and do the Peach shenanigans. This gives us the possibility, once we have, I think, Lucky Lester, which we need to get out of bounds in Chapter 5 again.
Or if you have a combination of Sushi and one of the boot upgrades, you can do it.
Yeah, exactly. And it basically allows us to circumvent the erupted volcano. So we can enter the volcano again, do some out-of-bounds glitches, and re-trigger that ending cutscene again, like erupting volcano, and we're fleeing from it. So, and that gave people the thought, maybe we can trigger other chapters, like Chapter 6 and 7.
Alright, real quick.
And
this is the dumbest trick ever. The loading zone extends a little bit too far. I think you could just clip inside the rock just a tiny bit and then skip a whole gigantic block push.
Alright. And if we trigger a Chapter 6 and Chapter 7, and trigger the end of Chapter 5, it acts like you would have finished a chapter you originally triggered. So that's what we call the Peach warp, or the wrong warp in this game. So basically, to say it short, you can trigger an end cutscene of a chapter, but it acts as the end of a chapter you triggered by using some glitches that make you go out of bounds. Like where Sunta is right now, we can re-enter exactly this room all the time, and this acts as the end of the chapter, and that skips the majority of Chapter 6 and Chapter 7. So we can instantly trigger Chapter 8.
So what I casually did to skip the boss of Chapter 5, if you NPC push, or not push, NPC clip with using Colorado, you can get out of bounds in that area, and that area I was in is actually above the boss chamber. So by going out of bounds down right, falling out of bounds down right, and then going down left, I believe, I can enter the loading zone after Lava Piranha, and that also triggers the escape sequence.
Exactly.
Right here's a Peach cutscene. Nothing really much to talk about. We're going on the Price is Right.
Oh damn. Da, 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 da. Da, 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 da.
If you get caught, Benji, please. If you get caught, it wastes a bunch of time, and you feel bad every single time you do it.
Yeah.
Like, you just feel real dumb for getting caught. Anyway, these guys are bros. They actually don't do their job, and they just want to play with you.
The fun fact about this minigame is it can fail 9 times in a row. Like, you can... not really 9 times in a row. You can press the first answer 9 times in a row, and then the 10th answer is gonna be the second option. So you have more correct answers than wrong ones, so you win.
No, it's if you mash. You straight up mash, and then you win. The last two
No.
answers are the first option. So
I
if you
thought the last
mash,
one
you
was the
win.
second option.
No, that's the one you want to pick, so you want to lose. If you win a jam and jelly, and it's just a text box, and no one wants that.
So you're not getting a jam and jelly in this route.
Yeah,
You get it somewhere else.
we got the jam and jelly behind the tree, and that'll suffice.
Yeah, true. I forgot.
So right now, if I just mash A, I'll win.
Well, you normally win anyway because regardless how many fails or correct answers you have, you're getting the parachute, and the parachute is gonna be a very good item that we can use in later chapters.
Yeah, it's basically used for the next beach cutscene.
Exactly. So what the parachute does is basically takes over the sprites of the enemy you shoot with the parachute, and it's so you're basically disguising yourself to gather more information, so Twinkie can help Mario more to beat Bowser.
It's basically Metal Gear. You'll see it in a few minutes, but it's actually a while after Chapter 6.
I can't wait.
I can't
Really
wait
laggy.
either. Actually, fun fact, if you re-trigger a Peach cutscene by various glitches, you can actually use a sneaky parasol on the Toad, and then the Toad counts as a Koopa Troll.
I never knew that. That's a weird oddity.
So right here we're gonna get this chest that flew out of the volcano because Colorado wants it and we're a good friend. But actually we need to barter. He'll give us a magical seed because of this vase, the urn.
Yeah, because we need those 4 magical seeds to enter Chapter 6. Otherwise, you can't just like do whatever you want. There's no way currently to get it to Chapter 6, rather than using the magical seeds. Unless
So-
we find some kind of loading zone wrong word or something like that.
Probably neat. So right now we're going to make a pit stop on this beach and pick up another really powerful item, a repel gel. Makes you invincible for 2 turns. And this is going to be useful for the final Bowser fight. Because since we're under level, final Bowser will completely body you. Unless you're using the right strats. In that case, he has a chance to completely body you. You're still not safe.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're just gonna pick up the 3rd magical seed. I mean the 4th magical seed, which is in Forever Forest. Thankfully, since we're post Chapter 3 state, which is what the Forever Forest is, Chapter 3, we can just walk in, get the seed, and bounce without having to do anything.
Yeah, because since you ended Chapter 5, the game thinks you have already finished Prologue, Chapter 1, 2, 3, and 4, including 5. So you can instantly enter Forever Forest.
Yeah, so if
because
you're
the game thinks you
accounting,
have already done it.
we skipped more than about half of Chapter 1, most of Chapter 2, all of Chapter 3, all of Chapter 4.
Who the hell needs Chapter 3, man? When I was a kid, I never figured out the thing about Tuba Bloopa's heart. It was so complicated. I thought I was going straight forward, but I had to backtrack and I didn't understand. I was like, okay, let's start a new game. I don't know how to continue, but I will continue. I will start a new game again.
I actually never played this as a kid. I played it somewhat recently, within the past 5 years.
Damn.
But
I
it's
think you
fun.
regret missing out on that, right?
Not really.
Not really.
I had the wonderful game of Donkey Kong 64 growing up.
Oh damn!
And
What is
Ocarina of Time.
101%?
I actually ran that game.
4 OOT runs.
I actually ran that game back in the day.
Oh damn it!
Anyway, we're talking to Best Girl so that we can plant all the flowers, and then that opens up the door to Chapter 7.
Do you know her name?
It's... Ooh. Minty. M-I-H-N-T. Capital T.
Alright. Minty.
Actual Best Girl.
Minty. Screw it. It's called Rippu in Japanese, so Rip Run.
Ooh. Should I show it now or later?
What, Early Lackey?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, do it now.
Do it now?
it.
Alright,
Yes,
so Early
yes.
Lackey.
Yes. Explain it to us scrubs.
So right here, if you do... I'm gonna do the really stupid method. I'll do it a few times because I don't want to waste too much time. So by loading zone jumping... Yeah.
Oh, you were so close. So again, what you see here is something called loading zone jumps. So first what we're going to do is to enter the area where the loading zone would be. But
Okay,
before
screw this method.
Mario lands, there's one frame before Mario lands that we can use to jump again in order to prevent the loading zone to load. Basically, the memory where you should load is getting stored, but
it takes two frames.
It takes 2 frames.
Yeah.
But it takes 2 frames to trigger the loading zone.
So I failed that
So
method a
what-
little bit too much, so I'm going to show the old-fashioned method. You clip in the tree by just jumping into it because this is a good video
Isn't
game.
that the 80% method?
Yeah, they both are. So then by doing a precise angle and then angling down, you can store that loading zone and then wind up here. I failed it. My god. I'll show it later. I have to get going. So you wind up at that side of the tree and then you end up on a seam. I'll do it later when I'm less flustered because I failed it a little bit too much.
Yeah.
It's actually not required and sort of banned in this category because if you do that, you can't finish the chapter. You have to Peach Warp.
Wait, for early Lackey, you have to do P4 afterwards?
If you do it at the beginning of the chapter, yes. You could do it late in the
Okay.
chapter, but it doesn't save nearly as much time. I apologize for that little hiccup.
Don't even worry about it. That's what Sasaki would say. Don't even worry about it. LCS is pretty much like getting a sequence of frame perfect tricks all the time. Like, it's basically like in Ocarina of Time, you do frame perfect item swaps all the time, and it's really hard. It's really, really hard getting LCS consistent. Or Ocarina of Time item swap to owl skip and stuff like that. How many frames does Paper Mario run on though? Does
It runs at
have
30.
20 or it runs at 30.
Mhm.
So OOT has 20 frames per second, so it makes it even harder. Like, time a sequence of several frame perfect jumps in a 30 FPS game within a short amount of time. Have fun to get that consistent.
It's something, once you start learning, you have to practice almost every day.
Yeah, pretty much.
It's a routine. Sometimes you can have bad days, which is today for me, unfortunately. Sometimes you have good days. So these moles, they give us a buttload of experience because we're underleveled. And we have to kill them so that we can get... I forgot what this plant gives you, actually. It's not the soil. It's something.
It gives you the bean.
Oh, yeah, the bean. So we need the
From
bean
Petunia.
to plant it at the end
fun,
of the chapter.
Fun thing about it is like those flower, the petunia, the flower, like with the purple flower head. It doesn't actually want you to plant the bean for very odd reasons. It's feels really bad and you do it anyway because you're like, yeah, fuck you too.
If I lose my commentary, I'm just thinking about what to do.
That's why I'm here. Idiot.
Thanks, dummy.
Love you too. Mwah.
Why are we doing this?
Why not?
Okay, so we got the bean. Now this is what's called the death hallway by me. There's this bee that's really persistent and it does a gigantic amount of damage. It does 6 HP,
Yeah.
which is insane since you only have 10.
In a glitchless run, if you would ever get stung by a bee, it would be rip run instantly.
That's pretty much every category. So we juke him by doing that, and then we go over here so that he loses our attention. That stinky herb was in a terrible spot. We made it out. We actually have to do that hallway 3 times.
Freaking top. Oh my god.
So that was 1 out of 3. We're also collecting these berries. They just let us get past the gatekeepers. I don't know why I mentioned that. That's
Can we
pretty
not
obvious.
skip at the gates?
You can, but
without
it's dumb.
liking?
It's really dumb.
Feels bad, man.
So this chapter 6 is basically a gigantic